Hello there, and welcome to another video. This time we are doing Should You Rush for a Galactic Legend? Everyone clap if you think you should rush for a Galactic Legend. No, you should not. I'll explain in more detail in a second, but let me get gameplay rolling, goddamn. But I guess I should start explaining myself at least. Basically, the reason why you should not get a Galactic Legend is that, think about it. If you're trying to race for a Galactic Legend, and it doesn't even matter what Galactic Legend you're trying to go get, whether it's Rey, Luke, Lord Vader, Slkr, C, it doesn't matter which one you're trying to go get, because no matter what, that's not the problem. The problem is that you get a lot of bloat and what's the best way to phrase it? Is a lot of bloat and useless characters from all of them being so high relic. It just kind of becomes useless, and you're just like, wait a second, James, why is that? Well, let's just take a quick look at, even in what my opinion is the Geo with the best Rex and the best units for them. And that is actually Slkr, as you can see right there. Killer unit, full auto, does the Sith raid, does this, does that. Really good unit. We'll just toss him on another auto battle. Like, by far, in my opinion, the best Galactic Legend. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is hands down probably the greatest Galactic Legend in the game. Now, the reason why I say the greatest is because he is the easiest to get, because he requires no Relic 8, which if you are not in a high tier guide, you do not have the resources to go out and get that. Now let's look at his requirements in the first place. And as you can see here on screen, I have the Slkr requirements. You have all of the first order that you can possibly use. So that's 2 complete teams and a solo with Kylo Ren. You have Emperor Palpatine, who is a great Sith leader, great to use with other Empire units such as Vader if you don't have Lord Vader. And then veteran smuggler Han Solo is really the only outcast of this group, to say the least, because he is a completely different faction, so he has no synergy with everyone else that has been gotten their units for requisition. And don't mind my brain sputtering here. And not only that, it provides you with a capital ship that is actually a really good offensive fleet to use in Grand Arena. And besides, you get 2 full teams in First Order. And now, the next one that I wanted to talk about was, outside of Slkr, he might as well talk about Rey right afterwards. Because, it's only natural to do 1 + 1 = 2. So, when you're looking at it, you're like, wait a second, well, how does this work? And Rey, great PvP character to have, great PvE character to face off with, is generally considered one of the better Galactic Legends. I'm not going to say that she's considered the best, because her era between her and Slkr has passed, because, immediately after those two came out, literally Jedi Master Luke Skywalker and Sith Eternal Emperor came out within, I don't know how close of each other, but it was nuts of how close they came out. It was like, hold up a second, why is this happening? So we just followed along with them and with what she did, and we were like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And we just see her Rex. It's literally the entire Resistance. Like, every single member of Resistance is required for Rey, besides veteran Smuggler Han, who is for Slkr. And now, Resistance is not the greatest faction in the game. They're a good faction, but they're not great. And the only requirement that is not needed is R2-D2 and C-3PO, which are required for Jedi Master Luke Skywalker instead. And speaking of, Master Luke, we might as well hop over and do a little bit of gameplay with him. Where I just want another Jedi. Can't. Thank you. Actually, wait a second. We want this one. And Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker and Jedi Knight Master Skywalker have the most amount of requisitions for it from all squads across the entire game. You cannot prove me otherwise, or you cannot change my mind about that. Because when you look at it, you realize, wait a second, you have to get Jedi Knight Luke, which means you need to get CLS, which means you need to get R2. You need to get Jedi Training Rey, which means you need to get BB-8, which means you need to have First Order teams and Empire teams and this and that. It's a bunch of nonsense, but it is great nonsense in the same way. He is probably one of the best defensive Galactic Legends out there. And if you see his requisitions, it's filled with a lot of ships and a lot of good characters. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. You just can't pass up on. Whenever a debuff expires, they lose turn meter. Like, you pair that with Darth, Revan, and Ballista, and Badstilla, and all them, and all that type of stuff. Ghost Wonders. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, Galactic Legends Luke, because he's the one with the most amount of requirements, and so basically it is just real difficult to try to pace him correctly, because it's just like, wait a second, why do we have to do so much if all we're going to do is just have to require one Galactic Legend? Or is just this one Galactic Legend is pretty much has the requirements of all of these sub-branches. Well, these sub-branches are good, because you can use Jedi Knight Luke without Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. You can use CLS as his own team, because he doesn't fit in, and JTR is her own team as well, so really good rec. Kind of pulls away from other couple good key squads, but, you can always just 3-man with them, so, yeah. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next one, which would be, C. And I'm just going to plug in the top Sith I see. Wow, okay, that's fine. Anyways, C is probably the easiest amount of requirements, all things considered, which, you might find as strange, but when you look at it, it's like, And in fact, let's go look at it, and also the other requirements as well, because I completely forgot to show them along with you guys, I'm sorry. We will resume with Rey really quickly. As you can tell, it's literally every other Resistance member, besides R2, C-3PO, and Veteran and Vet Han. It's literally all of them. Radis is not required at very high stars, which everyone's thankful for, because, no one really invests in the Radis. I have 2 different endgame accounts and a 3rd middle game account. Not even worried about something like that. Here is Sith Eternal Emperors, which requires Jedi Anakin, which means you get a Galactic Republic person. And if you are going after C anyways, it's a really good investment. The only problem is that there is a lot of Relic 7s, which is very harmful to free-to-play friendly players. That's why I say, oh hey, go after Slkr. He only has 3 Relic 7s, which is not bad compared to the 5 Relic 7s and the 2 Relic 6s. It's not bad at all, which makes you look at it and it's like, yeah, let's go after Slkr. For Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, this is simple. It's literally, okay, here is all of the legacy characters that we have. We'd like to try to get them up to Relic and have people spend spend as much as possible. Well, this is a lot of really good Rebel units. Not only are they useful in raids, but they're also useful in why am I blanking? They're also useful in Lightside Geo and Lightside Hoth. I mean, a lot of these are used in Lightside Hoth, and then if you go down the branch of Jedi Luke Skywalker, you have the entire branch of him, which is completely separate and all relics. So yeah, we'll quickly head over to the last Galactic Legend that I have unlocked, which requires 2 Relic 8s, 3 Relic 7s, and then a bunch of Relic 5s and 3s and the Negotiator. And you're wondering, well, the Negotiator's fine. It's been out for a while. The Relic 8s, though, hurt. You have to hoard up crystals for them if you don't have a guide that's able to, knock out the challenge rank or raid, which if you're trying to rush for a Galactic Legend isn't going to happen. So you have to either go out and spend money for crystals and buy up the Relegate mats inside of weekly shipments, or you go out and save up and hoard your crystals to an insane amount of money, or insane amount of crystals, in order to get those Relegate mats. Now this, I only have 1 rec because I've not been touching this. I've been working on my own personal projects of something called the Executor. You probably haven't heard of it. It's not important at all. Anyways, there's 4 Relic 8s among this. Orc Trooper is one of them, which you can't really complain about thanks to the fact of the really high threshold of not Galactic Legends, of Geonosis territory battles. Really useful in there. Padme, Relic 7, it's dumb. A lot of this is just really high relics this is the one Galactic Legend that is completely out of reach for free-to-play players. I'm sorry, unless you've been hoarding for a while, it's out of reach. So is Jedi Master Luke, because you have to get Watt, and Watt is kind of hard to get unless you're in one of those good middle game guides that have 120 million GP who are running the dark side Geo with light side Hoth. It just works really well. Now, one of my guide mates, they're rushing Rey, and I'm like, that's kind of the worst thing you can do, because Rey is really limited to Rey Jedi training and Rey herself. There is no other leaders outside of Finn. Other than that, I told him oh, hey, that's your pros and cons for that one. C looks on the surface to be the easiest Galactic Legend to rush, but also is probably one of the harder ones to rush, or it's the second easiest to rush, but you have to get Interior Pipe Armor to 5 stars, which can cause some problems. Everyone else getting them up to Relic is the only really issue, which is a Relic grinding within itself. We'll do JML because I think I've hit this hammer on the head. JML is one of those Galactic Legends that you really need to just hit home with. That is something that is end game because of how much time you have to build into the account. And then Slkr is probably the easiest one to rush because you only, like I said, 3 Relic 7s, a bunch of Relic 5s, and that's it. And then Finalizer, which is a little tricky, but just unlock first order ships, unlock the other ships that are needed, and you're pretty much good to go on the event. It's an easy enough event. But should you rush a Galactic Legend? The answer is no. There is only one Galactic Legend, if you were to rush, that would be worth it, and that is Slkr, as it gives you 2 great teams to use alongside Slkr, besides veteran smuggler Han Solo. Besides those 2, or besides that 1 wreck, all of his wrecks I consider amazing because you can use them in multiple squads. You can send Palpatine off with Vader and just run a Terminator train on everyone. But other than that, I mean, but other than that, there's only one, I guess, quote unquote, acceptable Galactic Legend to rush, and that, like I said, is Slkr. And even then, I do not condone the supporting of rushing Galactic Legends because it inflates your GP to an insane amount. Because if you have 12 if you have 12 units at relic level, and those are the only 12 units you have at relic level, well, let's just say everyone averages out to 25k, and that's being generous. Everyone averages to 25k, and you get to the point of, oh, hey, everyone's 25k. Like, of course, you'll have your high-end ones, which are 50k, which are your Galactic Legends. But you have, let's just pick, 25, 26, 27, 28k. That's pretty much half your GP, besides your ships, are going to be dedicated to that Galactic Legend when you can build a CLS team, a JTR team, a JKR team, a Darth Revan team. You can set up these teams for the future, so that way when you can go out and rush for these Galactic Legends, you do not have to worry about, oh, hey, is my roster going to be good enough to just place my GL on defense and use everything else I have on offense? No. That's not how you want to work. You want to be able to run powerfully enough to not have to worry about, oh, hey, am I going to be screwed because I only have one good team versus the rest of my good teams? And that is why I'm officially announcing that League King James, my 2.5 million account, will never have a GL. The only reason why it will have a GL is because my guidemints will get mad at me, and I will tell them, okay, be patient. The only reason why I'm going to get these Galactic Legends is due to the fact of I am going to do it for territory battles, and that's it. That's the only reason why I'll ever have a Galactic Legend, because I don't feel like I should be carrying Galactic Legends around for any other reason in PvP, because I would like to just show off, oh, hey, I know the knowledge of the game. I can beat you without a Galactic Legend. Anyways, that's all for this video. Until the next time.